Speaking of wrecks, I think that one of the biggest wrecks that was ever recorded on live television was either known about and let happen for nefarious purposes or purposely done by our nation. And I'm referring to 9/11. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Once again, Red and Holden. Dan
is still a tree.
Yeah, we haven't been able to save up enough cows to resurrect him,
unfortunately.
But he should be coming back soon. I imagine in another month or so he'll be back. So you're stuck with us again. Sorry, but also like shove off at the same time. I don't care. But yeah, so today we're gonna be talking about hot takes.
And I got one that I think is gonna make you mad. I think
right off the bat
on my list
right now, like
yeah.
All right.
So one of my
Wait,
hot
you have a
takes-
list? You've been prepping
I have
this out?
a list. Yes, I have a list.
Okay, well, I don't have
On my list of hot takes is Taco Bell being trash.
Dude, fuck you. First of all,
Taco Bell is trash.
First of all, you are actually like just factually incorrect, okay? Taco
not.
Bell,
I'm not. The end.
you don't like ground beef. There's something wrong with you.
No, I
Yeah.
just don't like most taco meat.
You know, they have
Which-
chicken too. They have chicken options. Do you like
Are
chicken?
they good chicken options?
Do you like okay, what do you think a chalupa is? Ooh, have you ever tried a chalupa?
You always talk
No,
about
because
it.
you hate Taco Bell. They have other things other than ground beef, you
Oh,
silly
like a
nerd.
Baja Blast.
It's a Baja
A
Blast.
fucking Baja Blast.
The Baja Blast is actually very good. Thank you very much.
Okay, Manny, you are Hispanic. What is your
Okay.
opinion on
Okay. Yeah.
Taco
We need an
Bell?
authentic Hispanic person apparently because the
Hey.
white person's vote isn't good enough.
Token Hispanic here. Sadid. The Taco Bell. Huh. Yeah, Taco Bell shit.
Talk
Okay,
about
but, like,
shit.
Taco Bell is.
See? So when I
But
say
I'd like to point out, I don't like any fast food tacos.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, you don't like them because you have had authentic Hispanic food, maybe. So
Yeah,
like, you
and,
can't go back to the
okay,
fake
that
shit.
whole-
Hold on.
Maybe.
Something you might like or might not like about fast food taco meat, or I guess like Mexican American even taco meat, is
probably
they
all the
put
horse.
cumin in the meat, and that's like the most like tastes like Mexican seasoning.
Oh,
seasoning
that's I probably
put.
don't.
Oh, I
like
thought it
that.
was
And that
horse.
you might not like cumin. In Mexico, they don't actually put cumin in basically anything.
Oh my god! This whole time, I thought you said human. I thought you were saying human, like
Yeah, that's
human
what
being.
human-
Should I say?
No.
Should I say cumin? Is
And-
that what I'm saying?
Yeah, they don't come in the beef. They don't put cumin in the beef.
The horse thing, I hate Taco Bell, but I will back Taco Bell.
The horse thing
up.
was a Jack in the Box thing.
I was gonna say Taco Bell got like sued, or I think Taco Bell sued someone else because they kept saying that like their meat was like horse or something, and they proved that it wasn't. It was like at least not horse.
You know,
And then-
allegedly though, at the same time, they could have just been like, yeah, make sure this one fucking little area of the goddamn factory doesn't have any goddamn horse in it, you fuckers.
No, you cannot hide the fact that you're putting horse meat in your meat.
I don't know. Maybe there's like an acceptable percentage of horse meat. That's the way America works.
It is. You can have an acceptable amount of like bug parts in your food.
Which you
and,
like, apparently, you bug eating freak. Fuck you.
I didn't say I. Oh, is that? Is
Yeah,
that
that's
the other,
a
what,
hot
that
take.
we would eat.
Yeah, you would eat mosquito
professionally
burgers.
made bug food.
I don't give a fuck who made
Some
it.
ant patties.
Hell no. Nowhere near my mouth. At all.
I
Like,
think that's more of a hot take that you just won't eat food.
No, I'd eat almost any other vegetable, any other animal, any other fucking bird. I don't know, fish. Like, I'd eat a lot of different things.
Yeah,
I
we
won't
talked a
eat
lot
insects.
about this on our weird things people eat episode.
Manny, I forget, what was your stance on that? Do you fuck with the insects in your mouth or no?
No, that was not the question. It was, would you like eat
Would
like
you have
something
insects in
prepared
your
by a
mouth?
chef? Yeah.
Yeah, insects in your mouth. Yeah.
I don't remember what I said. I might have changed my opinion. I'm not sure. Maybe if someone else tries it first and tells me what
Okay, I'll
it's
try
like.
it before you, and then you can eat it. So we're 0 and 2 on or
Bug
2
freak.
on red.
Oh, wait, what do you mean we're 0-2? Are we keeping score? This is a thing?
Mate, we need a whiteboard up here. So no, but
We could get the whiteboard and keep score.
I feel like that's gonna make it too competitive. Actually,
This
if
is
we-
true. I'm kind of...
if we do that.
Well, then that's the perfect reason to go get the whiteboard, right? Don't you want to get like heated and like throw those plants at each other?
Throw the plants up. Are we getting a? How do we even? So
I tried to get a whiteboard, but they vetoed me because they knew I would win. Hot
yeah,
take.
that's what happened. So what? Okay, so I gave a hot take.
Okay, this
Yeah,
is
what-
This is an argument that goes back to when we were kids. So there's a little story here. So me and Holden grew up in the same neighborhood, and we would routinely walk to like the 7-Eleven or like the kind of like area nearby that had shops and stuff. And one of the arguments we got into, I remember it to this day, was if bicyclists
I knew you were going to
allowed
bring this
to, because we've never squashed this, where if bicyclists were allowed to ride in the street, like a normal like street, like not like a street bicycle, but like a regular like bike, you know? Could you ride that in the street, or do you have to have it specially like fitted for the street? And I was the whole time I was like, no, you just have to follow the laws of the road. And Holden, you were like, no, you can't do that.
I don't think that's what the argument was.
Okay, then enlighten me.
Wasn't it? Unless this was a separate of our million arguments as a kid, wasn't it? We were arguing if you could go under the speed limit.
Oh, which you can. Because bicyclists do that all the time. You can drive
Yeah.
below the speed limit. There's no speed minimum.
But there's a law that you can't disrupt the flow of traffic. So I don't think you could just be going 30 on an 80 highway.
oh yeah, well you can't ride your bike on the highway. But anyway, that was an argument we got into. But my hot take is that if there's a fucking sidewalk and you are riding your bike, please do it on the fucking sidewalk. That shit's so fucking annoying. I hate cyclists.
Including actual cyclists?
Yes, I hate them all. Like, please just.
All right, I have an instant rebuttal to this.
Please.
Instantaneous. It is actually more dangerous for cyclists to be on the sidewalk than on the road.
Well, I don't want them on the road. That's
well,
my hot take.
sucks to suck. Go on another road.
Yeah, because
Live in a state where they don't allow
They
it.
move
But
so
sidewalks
slow.
are really
Sidewalks are, first of all, bad for vision. So if you're crossing a street from a sidewalk, there's a good chance that car is not going to be able to see you,
Yeah.
especially if there's trees and shit. Also, the pedestrians on the sidewalk are like in danger of the bike for whatever. But yeah, it's proven that. And I'll find the article. I'll find a few articles, but it is
I'll go
safer for
I don't think Red cares
cyclists
about that.
to
I
go.
just,
on
that's my
the
hot
road.
take. I
His,
do not
his
like.
feelings aren't caring about
I
the
do not
facts
like
right
cyclists.
Well, I hope you get run over by an 18-wheeler that doesn't want your car on the highway.
Well, that's a little
because he
different.
Well,
How's that
is it?
different?
Because the 18-wheeler is a car, and I am also a car.
No, it's a
18-wheeler is
truck.
mathematically not a car.
Well, a
First
car
off,
and a
it's
truck
not
are
classified by a
synonymous.
passenger vehicle. Here's something fun. Pickup trucks are not considered passenger vehicles and therefore can have lower safety standards than other passenger vehicles.
Really?
And this was a lobbying attempt by the big pickup truck.
Big truck.
Big truck.
Basically.
Big Chevy.
So
big Chevy.
yeah, I think that's a very good argument by Manny. Like, 'cause it's the same thing. Because it's just a bigger vehicle than your vehicle. But
Well,
I
don't
get
want,
what you mean.
No,
They
I
can be
also don't
annoying.
want 18-wheelers on the road either, especially on like those long car trips. Holden, I've explained it to you before. It's called turtle racing. It's this name that I've came up with when one 18-wheeler decides for whatever fucking reason that they want to pass another 18-wheeler in the right lane. So now they're just in both lanes going virtually the same speed because one of them's impatient.
Yeah.
And I got to wait another 15 minutes to speed back up because you suck because
Yeah.
you're in my way. They should
Yeah.
have their own separate thing.
I think that's because you go like 140 on a 70, right?
Well, he's more like 92 and a 30.
Wait, that was worse. I think you just no, you definitely gave a worse, a faster.
That's another hot take of mine.
increase.
If you can speed right, I think it's actually safer. If you can control your own flow of traffic and who's around you, like what I really
How do
like
you
to
do
do.
that?
What?
How do you control?
Well, okay, so hear me out. Hear me out. What
The
I do?
orb around
There's
you.
pockets in between gaps of traffic, right? If you notice, if you look at traffic, there's literal pockets where there's no one around
Yeah,
you.
so you're just saying speed up.
Speed up, get into the pocket, and stay there.
Yeah, but then I think what happens is you then speed up to, so you're going 90 in the left lane, someone's going 80 in the left lane, right? And you speed up and you get right up on their fucking ass. It's not just like closing the gap, you're then applying like social pressure
Yeah.
for them to move over, or then they're going to speed up. So then, I
No,
don't
I
know,
hear
you're
you.
then,
Usually, I just don't even wait for them to get over. If I'm in a rush, I'll just cut around you.
and that is not safe.
It depends. I think you just like gotta like judge
You
the other cars
going
around
20
you.
miles slower in the left lane is
Okay.
definitely safer
No.
than you going.
If I'd rather be the one passing than the one being passed. I think that's safer than doing the passing because you can like I don't know like I'm always watching
What
the
if
cars.
everyone is passing?
Well, that's when you sit back and let everyone pass you and just pray to God that they don't hit you. Because there are situations like that where you just happen to find like 6 cars that are just fucking rooming. You're like, all right, you guys have this. You go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
chill back here.
Huh.
Because less cars around you, the safer you are. You know.
Yeah, but you're.
There's also people that aren't expecting you to speed up. Like, also, because I have this issue in intersections where I'm trying to turn, and then there's this person's like, I expect them to be at least going a little bit over the speed limit, and then they're like, it turns out they're going fucking 70, and they almost hit me like, what
Oh,
the fuck,
yeah,
dude?
yeah.
So, like, I don't
Getting
know.
rear-ended is a scary thing.
Yeah.
I thought it was a burp, but
I bet if it
failed.
was a cyclist, them rear-ending you wouldn't matter.
Yeah, because they're a cyclist, I win that
So
one.
we should allow them.
To rear end me?
Yeah.
Do you think that'd be my fault or theirs? If they
It's
rear
always the person who rear ends.
okay.
I think.
Even if
right?
they're on a bike?
I don't think that changes it.
I don't know. I'm not an insurance expert. Oh, that's a hot take. Fuck insurance, man. We shouldn't like
Fuck insurance?
It's like such a scam to me. Like you just pay just in case something happens, and if something happens, you still gotta pay, and they probably don't give you like as much as you've been paying into them.
Yeah, the one time I like really like with the car insurance type thing, right? Like I remember like I got damage on my car or something, and my dad told me that I should not file a claim with my insurance because if I do, it will then raise my rates of the insurance,
Yeah.
and it would be cheaper to just
Fix
it
yeah.
out of pocket myself.
Yeah.
But I guess I can somewhat see the point of insurance
Right.
to an extent.
I see the point, but I don't think it should be legal. It shouldn't be like you have to have it to drive.
Well, the problem is you hitting someone else's car.
Yeah.
That's why it's required.
then you can
car
have
insurance.
But then that way, I don't know, if you hit someone, then you're at fault. You will get in trouble for it, and you will have to pay them out of pocket.
yeah, but if
I've
but if
never
you
hit
don't have
someone.
it, if you don't have the money, that's why you have to. Because say I don't have car insurance, and it's fine to not have car insurance, and I hit someone, and I can't pay,
you just
what
get your
happens?
wages garnished. I don't know.
but that doesn't fix their car.
Yeah, it does. You
immediately.
just pay them money over time.
I'm
Immediately.
unemployed. I'm a single dad.
Oh well, then you're going to jail. I don't know, man. Like, 'cause
These
I,
are some hot takes.
okay, hear it from my point of view. I have never once hit a single thing on the road. Okay, and I've been paying insurance for almost 6 fucking years now.
Yeah.
I've spent probably $10,000 on insurance, just $10,000 that I don't have. That for nothing basically.
Yeah,
for
but like
safety.
that doesn't even say you just totaled someone's $60,000
I've never done
car.
that.
I know, but you still have. How long have you been driving?
Sorry, let me just knock on wood. 6 years now. I just turned 24. 6 years.
So you have what? That 6 times 5, 30 more years of having insurance to even like cover if you had totaled
30
someone's.
more years, dude. That
That would
that's
make $60,000.
It's 60.
That's what I think
thought
so.
it was 50, but
But whatever, that's the price of maybe a newer, nicer car. So like, if you total someone's car,
Mm-hmm.
you can't pay $50K. There's no way. How are you paying? They can garnish your fucking wages. You think they're getting $50K in your entire life? Or like maybe over your time, not that,
They're
but
kinda
like
fucked, yeah.
just not in the immediate, which is when they need it.
well, I mean, it's like usually in my perfect world, it would be a good idea to have insurance, sure. But in my situation, I don't think it's like I get it pulled over for a speeding ticket and now I got a double whammy just because I didn't have insurance.
I just still go
I
back
think it
to
should be highly
you can't
encouraged.
pay. You can't pay.
So shit sucks. Don't get into car accidents. Maybe pay
But
attention.
like, so if I just got a new car and you fucking total my car and you have
That
no
would
job,
really suck. Damn. But I
don't-
got you. I'll pay you back. I got you.
but I need a car tomorrow. I need to go to work.
Maybe you have insurance for that. I don't know. It's your problem. You're the one who wanted the insurance on it, you know?
Yeah. I don't
You
know.
know, make it like, you know, that's like a, you know, instead of insurance is for if someone else's, you know, I just am insured, you know? If someone fucks me up, my insurance will pay me out, you know? Versus making it their thing. Insurance
So then
is scammy.
no one would use insurance then.
No, you would just insure yourself and your shit versus like, I don't know, you see what I'm saying? You see
I do, but I just don't. I don't know how that works.
You know,
I
because it's
don't
like
know
in
how
case
it's-
something
I actually got insurance recently, so I was looking at some of it. There is specifically a clause for like if the person you get in a wreck with doesn't have insurance, and then basically that's part of the stuff that you can pay for, right?
Okay.
So you can decline to pay that, but that's like not the bulk of the insurance.
Yeah, most of it is just like the general stuff, right?
Yeah, I think it's like most of it is for if you fuck someone else's shit up.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah,
You know,
that's a hot
speaking
take.
Like
of
the
Rex,
deductible
man.
is like a higher deductible.
Yeah.
Means, lower. Like,
Depending on how
monthly
much
rates, I
you
think,
want, how much
something like
coverage
that.
you want. Yeah, it changes.
Speaking of wrecks, I think that one of the biggest wrecks that was ever recorded on live television was either known about and let happen for nefarious purposes or purposely done by our nation. And I'm referring to 9/11.
9/11.
That shit was definitely fucking planned. That's a big hot take of mine.
Jet fuel don't melt steel beams.
Not like that. Not like that. Like more on the lines of like at the very least they knew about it and let it happen, and then added the Pentagon hit to cover up the fucking $2.8 trillion that was missing. Because lo and behold, it was that office that just happened to get destroyed. There was a 1 in 5 chance, bro. It's a Pentagon. You telling me they hit? like, come on now. What are the odds?
I don't know. I don't really know how to. Like the only thing I've ever heard with the 9/11 thing is that. I don't know. Like people are always like, oh, like they say that stupid ass shit. Like jet fuel don't melt steel beams.
I know,
but it's like no, but it can heat it up so it bends and then gets destroyed.
They're running with the idea and just adding false bullshit. This is completely irrelevant
but you're
how it happened.
4/5 of the Pentagon is like
That's
better
pure
bullshit.
statistics. That's 1 in 5 chance right there.
Yeah, and the 1 in 5 chance could have happened.
Yeah, but there's a 4 out of 5 chance that it was not. Like I don't know.
But what the other 4/5 of the Pentagon could have had missing money or something.
You know, but there's so many other
points
points to it too. Like the fucking the passport. How the hell did the black box that hit the trade centers just completely disintegrate? But we found the terrorist passport amongst the rubble. Explain that.
I don't know.
Like all of these, like we didn't find any sort of identifications on half the passengers on that plane, but we found the terrorist passport. Wow, what a coinky dink. Like, come
What a
on.
coinky-dink.
Come on. And then look at what happened after. It's literally, it's not only just the events of 9/11, it's what happened immediately after with 2 factors. The Patriot Act, which we're now just being spied on. It's like, it's always been a thing, but now they can do it more.
And they're trying to do it again with the ban
And they're
and
trying to do
TikTok
it again.
bill. Yeah.
And then fucking the whole Middle Eastern shenanigan war that happened, bro. By all accounts and means, we were literally arming terrorists, training them, and then fucking their women and taking their oil and their poppy fields. It was just like, why the hell were we there? Any soldier that you talk to is like, why the fuck were we there?
Yeah.
You know, other than the
I can
fact
say that about most wars, probably though. That's like
no,
just the military in general.
No. I would say like up until like Vietnam. Like Vietnam, I think, and maybe Korea. I feel like Korea at that point was still like, let's go get them, gung ho, let's support the soldiers. But then
Yeah.
Vietnam hit, and like the people were like, this is such a bullshit thing.
Yeah.
You know? And I feel like every war after that has been like not even wars. When we deployed troops, like to like the whole Contra Iran situation, we're like, why the
Yeah.
fuck are we there? You know?
Yeah, because obviously I don't know all the facts about the 9/11 thing.
Jet
So,
fuel.
but that does lead me into one of my hot takes here, and that is, and I want to elaborate here before I immediately get canceled. But I think that the praise that we give to the military is just total fucking propaganda.
Oh, I absolutely 100%
And like,
agree.
I want to make it clear that I'm not talking about the individuals,
Yeah.
right? Like if you went and protected our country or whatever, well, which even saying protected our country, someone going to like Afghanistan or whatever to go get oil. I don't know how much you could argue is protect, but I would never say that to like the person themselves, right?
Yeah.
Because the military and our government told them to do that.
Yeah.
They signed up thinking that they were gonna.
Propaganda is such a good way to put that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, they are a brave individual taking on a very big risk.
Yeah.
You know, and sacrificing a lot to do what they want to
Yeah.
do. But I think it's like almost like they're just throwing it away.
Yeah.
They're giving it to this giant gobbling machine that doesn't give a flying
Yeah,
fuck
and
about
may just
you.
be using them so they can make these contracts for
Exactly.
guns, so
You
much
know?
money. So our military budget, like,
Or the other thing is too, because you look overwhelmingly at what the military offers, and it's college and money, right? And what do poor
What do people
want?
need? College and money.
So
yeah.
they're just literally making poor people to go serve in the
Yeah.
army,
Yeah.
which is like nothing short of a peasant class.
Yeah. I mean, and then you have, literally like the military, like helping, like action movies and Marvel movies and Call of Duty.
That's a whole. That used to be a conspiracy theory, and it's an actual thing that got released. I forgot the project for it, but there was a CIA sponsored project that was like it became a thing with Hollywood that they're like, yeah, we'll pay for your script and budget if you let us, like
Make the military
yeah, exactly.
look cool in your
like
movie,
we'll
yeah.
give you the uniforms, we'll give you the shit, we'll give you the budget,
Yeah.
and lo and behold, you got things like Marvel.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, like I don't know,
Yeah.
like Marvel. That's a hot take of mine. I used to, and it's a hot take for me. I used to fucking love Marvel. Like growing up until high school, up until Infinity War, I never really saw it. But dude, Marvel movies are just like kind of fucking propaganda to me now. Like especially Captain America, because Captain America literally was propaganda.
Yeah, like
Same for
freaking-
Superman.
Yeah, they were straight up. I like those, comics of like him, like punching Hitler and which like once again, it's like some like right, like I guess it just depends on if you're on the right side or wrong side of history, right?
This is
Because
true.
you could say all of the propaganda we had of Captain America going and fighting the Nazis. I'm not gonna like that's maybe some okay propaganda. I
'Cause
don't know.
fuck Nazis,
Because
yeah.
fuck Nazis, but the Nazis had propaganda that were saying go hate Jewish people, right?
Yeah.
So like that's not good propaganda.
I mean, yeah, you're right. It's completely dependent on what side of history.
But just I don't know.
I'll go.
I don't
I'll
like
go
the
a step
military too
further
much.
on this hot
There's
take.
actually a really interesting tie with Nazi Germany and the rise of comics. I'm not sure if you know, but like a lot of the original comics, and I'll get an exact lookup for this at first. But there is a lot of like Jewish self-inserts in superheroes as a sort of like underground. I don't want to say underground, but like solidarity
to like show
and
that like they liked Jewish people and the
well,
Nazis
no, it's
didn't.
because it was like written by Jewish people, like is like from Jewish people for Jewish people. I'll
Mm-hmm.
find specifically which ones, but there's a very interesting tie-in with World War II and comics.
Yeah, please find that because
Yeah.
I mean, like Captain America and Superman are some of the earliest superheroes that I can remember being like coming up with that idea, and
Yeah.
it was a propaganda thing,
Yeah.
But yeah, I was gonna say taking propaganda one step further, I would say that like overwhelmingly maybe half of the social media and news that we see nowadays is some sort of form of someone's propaganda. Any sort of mainstream CNN, Fox,
Yeah.
anything like that.
Well, and that's why I guess propaganda still makes sense, but like I feel like I would point the finger more at like the term of like just general like capitalism and stuff at that point, right?
No, because money's involved, but it's more it's focused on controlling the narrative, really.
I always just took it as like if Fox News and CNN keep doing all these things and like they keep showing Trump say all these things and like all of this crazy stuff, like that gets people to watch, right? Like Trump always said, he said like the news loves me. Like when I'm gone, the news is gonna like wish I wasn't gone. And that was like one of the few things he was right. When he was like not president anymore, everything plummeted, all the ratings plummeted because there wasn't like
Yeah.
drama.
But
Like people watching means they can pay more for ads, they can pay more for sponsorships.
propaganda in the sense that it's a useless waste of time. Like it's just an attention grabbing thing to just kind of milk you and like,
incite kind of like you to get angry.
yeah, in your own like. But
So
it's
you
also
just-
at the same time like where does that like what are they applying to there? Like how did they seed those beliefs like alt-right shit or like the whole Tucker Carlson shit? Like where did that seedling come from for them to kind of apply and grease you with and kind of entice you with their news? It's because it's been there all along because of propaganda.
Yeah. I mean, because you look at like, the stuff with Tucker Carlson on Fox News and all of the like internal documents and like just text messages and emails that were leaked between high ups at Fox News. Like most of those people did not believe what the fucking like
Yeah.
anchors were saying. The
Same.
anchors themselves weren't really believing
Yeah.
what they were saying, but they knew if they said it, they would like fear monger, and that's what a lot of people do, like comedians.
right. Yeah.
Like, those like comedians, like the guy that goes sits at those college, like the meme where it's like he goes to college campuses and he tries to get people to debate him. I don't remember what his name, Steven Crowder
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
I think him and a lot of other people are just like failed comedians.
Yeah.
That they just know that they can't they're not talented enough or
I do
entertaining
see
enough to like make it. So they
they
just like, I don't know what the term is, like
Grease.
like I don't know, but like they just know
Okay.
that like they could make it if they were a conservative comedian.
I will back up a little bit on that because I think there is a valid point there. Capitalism drive is a huge motive versus just population like motive control. But I got an even hot spicier take.
Uh-oh.
I think most of religion is propaganda. Because think about it, right? These people somewhere down the line got so convinced that what they were thinking was this higher power that it's just become like the Bible is like now just interpreted as like God's word, etc. So because of that, a long time ago, man, like even in the time of Jesus, right? There was a lot of like the religion at the time was riddled with greed and jealousy and money and tax collecting and all sorts of
Yeah.
shit. So it's been there this whole time. So I think it's literally just a way to kind of like tame people and make money. It's like, don't worry about that gust of wind. It's just Zeus being angry versus, oh, you
And
know,
go
that
give us
lightning
money.
struck this high, you know, this house. And, you know, because we're telling you all these things, you know, we need something to keep ourselves afloat. And I really think that most of religion is just kind of made up bullshit at this point. Like maybe years, like, you know, millennia ago, we might have been closer to knowing the actual truth. But at this point, it's just brainwashing propaganda. in my
Well, and I
opinion.
think we always talk about this a lot when we slam dunk on religion. I feel like a big thing is like the organized religion.
Oh, yes,
Right.
sorry. I do mean organized religion.
Because like, yeah, someone that's just like practicing a faith or religion and, you know,
quietly believing in it, yeah.
well, not even, I think you can loudly believe in it. Quietly makes me think like you're saying you need to stay in your home and you need to
No,
like.
there's just such a
be-
thin line between like loudly believing in it and evangelism, or however you
Well,
pronounce that
I think
word.
the difference is, do you own a mega church and 2 yachts and a fucking jet, and you're trying to like get people to like,
I don't
you
know. I don't know,
like all of
because-
those super pastors.
Well, yeah, that's huge badness.
those
But what's
people.
the difference between that and what they're doing and the fucking suburban housewife that has all of these friends over and is always talking about Jesus and thinks she's better? She looks down on you if she can't convert you, and that's a
Well, yeah,
huge.
because they think they're all going to hell and.
But that in itself, their evangelism is propaganda. Like, because what they're spewing to you, what they're trying to convert you to, is just their own, you know, it's not propaganda from a government sense. It's propaganda from, you know, their higher power sense. It's like a pyramid scheme.
It's evangelicalism.
Yeah.
rather.
Yeah, it's like one of those.
Evangelicalism, pyramid scheme, same thing.
Yeah, but dude, we're
like-
gonna get canceled in like 80,000 different ways.
Well,
in this
but like,
episode.
okay, look at
Oh,
like,
actually, first of all, I did get a source on earlier.
okay,
There's actually a whole bunch of things that pulled up, but the specific article from Hartes, I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah, most superheroes. The first comic was written by Jewish people. The first Comic Con was organized by Jewish people. Most
really,
first superheroes are Jewish allegories, including I believe Spider-Man, Superman. Let's see, we
Captain
got
America was Jewish.
Captain America. Bill Finger invented Madman, while Kirby.
Wait,
so
with
what
Stan
is
Lee.
what is the conclusion?
No, I
There's a lot of superheroes, specifically superhero stories, are Jewish allegories. It's specifically like Superman, right? There's like your parents had to send you somewhere. Your home is being taken over. You're in this new off land, and you're
Yeah.
sort of protecting your like new ideals, right?
I have a really
it's
good
really
analogy.
interesting. Oh yeah, hold on that.
Yeah.
It's really interesting that I see a lot of like weird conservative figures that like take representation in their comic books. They're like, bro, I want this white Christian guy. It's like, do you know that most of the people you're talking about are actually Jewish, and these are like literally like
Yeah.
hate Jewish people type people? Like,
No, that is good.
A good analogy I think, Holden, is like how hip hop was like our, maybe not even hip hop, but like African like music was like chanted like as a community thing, you know, like passed down like through their whole trial and tribulation, you know.
Yeah.
Like it's like this like analogy like in hip hop too was like formed around I think a lot of pain and anguish
yeah.
in like, you know, communities. So it's like a community bonding thing, you know. So like you're this young Jewish kid, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
in
yeah.
1955, you know, your parents went through shit, and all of a sudden, I don't even think it was Stan Lee at the time, but whoever made the first Marvel stuff, you know, makes this story,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like a
Yeah, no, I guess I just like some of the things that Manny was saying, I could see a conservative right-wing person like be getting like mad at. Like I'm just thinking of Kanye, right? When he started hating Jewish people and he's like showing these like this list on his phone. He's like, this is all of the Jewish like the all the like Hollywood's run by Jewish people. Look at all these like, you know, Jewish people that like are high ups. It's like, well, where's the list for the Christian? Like, what do you're literally cherry. So I guess like I just like. I don't know. I think I jumped the gun and interrupted Manny there because I just like that's what I was thinking. I was like, what? Like you know what I mean?
No, that I 100% got
that. Yeah.
No, you gotta keep in mind that comic books were like on the DL for a while.
Yeah.
Like they got popular like later.
Yeah.
They were also.
And-
Sorry.
Oh no, yeah, you can do it. I was basically done.
I was just gonna say it was nerd culture, like
Yeah.
you know, like it was something that was looked down upon,
Yeah.
and bullied for.
And yeah, now especially with just how big Marvel is, right? You know, like it's like kind of like the more just like mainstream media, like normal thing. Which going back to kind of just like mainstream stuff like that, I wanted to kind of shout out an older episode we made where we talked about Dark Souls should have an easy mode because I think that's still you can watch a whole episode if you want. We're not going to go super deep.
That is
into
a whole debate,
but that's a hot take I have. I think Dark Souls should have some sort of easy mode.
I got more to say because I've concised those thoughts too, and specifically not Dark Souls. I'll talk about Elden Ring because that's what I know. There are easy mode ways to play, using summons, having friends, etc., etc.
Yeah,
This is just low,
yeah.
so it's making you creatively do easy mode. You know what I'm saying?
And I like that that's there. I just don't think it's enough.
But
yeah. Watch that whole episode.
Fucking, I got a hot take. Fucking, and this is something that like I don't 100% believe, but it's something I've been growing into. I feel like I'm wasting time when I'm playing video games or watching TV, and I know what the argument is to is like you're getting enjoyment, etc. from it. I guess I've just quit getting enjoyment because I just feel like I'm just like I should be doing something more productive.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's just the anxiety talking, but
Well, and I know you go through the phase of like you'll burn yourself out. You'll play like when I mean I do streaming and stuff. So for me, I'm playing more video games than a lot of other normal people. But like for a normal person, right? Like they go to work and then they come home and like their hour or two of Fortnite they get to play is like their decompression. It's their relaxation. It's their
yeah.
But
I guess
you like.
But I guess the
overdo
big
it?
difference is because like those people like they have their job, they are where they want to be, right? I don't have these things. I don't have a college degree. I don't have like I guess the luxury of just doing nothing, you know?
Yeah.
I need to always be progressing because dude, I'm gonna be fucking rich. Like bottom line. Like I don't know, it's just gonna happen. And I feel like if I'm just sitting at home, like after a day at Chewy's and I just come home and I'm like watching like TV and playing video games, I feel like I'm wasting, you know?
Yeah.
So like that's where like my big drive for music comes from. And I try and downplay that because I think in general it's bad to over practice. You should play when you want to play kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it is something that I always feel. And I know it's anxiety and not like everyone feeling, but it is a hot take
I think that's definitely that's definitely like you said, like, you aren't maybe exactly where you want to be in life right now. So you don't want to just get addicted to a video game and stuff like that. But obviously my argument would be, well, you can still like, fit it in, right? Like say, you have already practiced and you said you don't want to over practice. Well, maybe that's time for you to play an hour of video games with your best buddies. But no, instead you're like, oh, fuck video games. Like I've been trying to get this motherfucker to play video games with us for so goddamn long.
It's been probably like since I moved in. So
damn,
like
dude.
7-8 months now.
I mean, like,
Somewhere in there?
like we had periods of time where we all like got into Fortnite again. We made an episode. That was like last season. We made an episode called like we're Fortnite gamer boys.
I think that's so funny. In the last year when I moved back from Connecticut, and I was just over there hanging out before I moved in. We would always be playing video games, and then the second I move in, just like And then the second I get a gaming laptop, I've literally wanted a gaming laptop my whole fucking life. I'm like,
But you still got into like when you got into Elden Ring, right? That's why we made that episode.
Yeah.
You played that game probably like more.
Dude.
You didn't practice music at all.
I haven't looked up a game like that and like done a whole wiki dive since like I was a kid, man.
So you just gotta like instead of doing that and then not playing video games for 2 months straight and then getting addicted to
Not
something.
even 2 months. It's been
Like
6 months. At
I don't
this
know.
point.
Like you should play. We played me and on top of all of the CS:GO that me, Dan, and Bora have been playing. We freaking played Bloons co-op. Dan had never played Bloons Tower Defense 6 either.
That
Huge
was me.
Bloons fan as
Oh.
well. No, him as
he hadn't
well.
played it either?
Because I was so dumbfounded that Red hadn't played. Have you played Bloons Tower Defense 6, Manny?
I don't think I played the 6th one. I think the highest I played is 5.
What
Yeah,
the fuck?
I didn't even know 6 was a
How
thing.
the fuck are y'all? The game has been out for so long.
This is another hot take of mine too. It's perfect that you mentioned this. I think mobile games, for the most part, are literally timeless pieces of bullshit.
Says the guy that got sucked into Vainglory.
But Vainglory was different, okay?
Oh,
Vainglory was different. Vainglory was a MOBA. There was a lot of consistency, and it was like a whole polished game. You don't have mobile games like that anymore.
Hearthstone. That was one of the
Hearthstone
things
is
I got.
also just a money suck too. How
So
mu-
was Vainglory. What?
No,
Do you know
Vainglory.
how much money people were spending on those cosmetics?
I could grind for those. I didn't need
You
to
could
get,
grind for
also
anything in
cosmetics
Hearthstone.
are like a whole different thing. I'm talking about actual like having to pay money for a character like League
But I'm
or
just
some
saying
shit.
they're all money grabs. That's the whole point of all of them.
True, but Vainglory was different. They built that. That was a love by
You're gonna
love child.
I could say that about Brawl Stars, right? That's one
No.
of the best mobile games I think I ever played when I was into it. You're
Timeless.
just gonna shoot down every single game that wasn't the one mobile game that you played.
Yeah, pretty much because they were all. Also, I haven't played.
Balloons Tower Defense.
I guess, but also like, what am I doing with that? I'm just popping some balloons.
What the fuck are you doing in Vainglory?
I'm slaying people with the bow and tapping and doing like all sorts of combos and like.
This is the most biased hot take
No, it's
I've
not,
ever
man.
heard
The
ever.
complexity between Vainglory and Balloons Tower Defense is like kindergarten to 12th grade. A child could play Balloons. Well, I guess children nowadays are very smart and technically savvy. But you get
No,
what I'm
but
saying.
just the fact that you're like mobile games are a waste of time, except for the one that I wasted all my time on.
I wasted all my time on it when I was a kid, right? I've come to realize that was a waste of time. Or not a waste of time.
yeah, but you just started defending it as if it wasn't a waste of time.
because it wasn't a waste of time.
Like, because I would say none of them is a waste of time unless you're like just wasting away, not achieving your goals. You know, like you kind of brought up.
Yeah.
But-
Speaking of achieving your goals, man.
Now, there is one way you can achieve goals, right? So here comes maybe my one and only hot take.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
It is morally okay to steal from big corporations.
Oh.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
like a lukewarm
Bro,
take.
I'm pretty much
it-
morally okay with just like stealing. Like not from like I don't know, like there's a difference between like stealing from Walmart and stealing from like
A mom and pop.
your local thrift shop, but also at the same time like stealing like I don't know, I don't take what I don't need, you know? Like
Hey,
in
you
general
do.
I'm pretty poor.
You stole candy in
I needed
elementary
that.
school.
I wanted that. Like that was different. I did need that at the time. I
You
needed
did
to,
need that?
I did. I needed to rebel, and like that was the form it came out as. You know.
Well, you
So-
could just say anyone needs to rebel.
Yeah. So that's why I'm okay with like stealing for the most part. Like you think
I'd
that
like to
candy
point
shop?
out that the biggest amount of like per dollar theft in the United States is wage theft, like by a landslide.
Wage theft.
That is true. Yeah, like if like a corporation
Yeah.
like just shaves a couple minutes off of everyone's, pay cards, or like the times like we've been in the service industry, you even have telling me stories like about things happening right now where you should be getting paid, but then it just doesn't show up, or some manager tells you they're going to give money and then they don't give you, like that's wage theft. Like you were told that by
Well, that's-
working or doing a thing.
I'm morally against that because it's in reverse. That's big corporations stealing from me. I need my money.
Okay,
more
but when
than
you
they need
steal
my
from
money.
a mom and pop,
That's
same
not
thing.
wage theft. That's like
No.
That's taking like a $5 little knickknack.
But you're not punching up. When you steal from Walmart, that's a punch up. When you steal from a mom and pop, I don't think
no,
that's
they
much
are
of a
still
punch up.
they are still very much up on me. I am very poor.
Dude, a lot of these like local things, like sometimes like that, I don't know, restaurants, local
Well,
restaurants.
local
shut
things
them
I'll
off.
like
phrase it
go out
like
of
this.
business, or they're like living check to check a lot of the
Yeah.
time.
In general, I wouldn't steal from a mom and pop, but like I'm not like if someone were to tell me they did, I wouldn't like disassociate or think down on them. I'm like, oh, you needed that shit, all right, or whatever.
I guarantee you most of the time they didn't. Unless they're like, yeah, I stole like, food because I needed food, or like,
Dude, there was this guy I worked with at Guitar Center that he made me so like it was such a stupid way that he got fired. He was returning lessons that people had missed out on and just converting them to cash and taking it. But it's like there's like not only are you stealing from Guitar Center, but you're stealing from these people because like they needed their lessons. Like that is one thing I always like. These people just came in to get music lessons and you're just robbing them. Like that's kind of fucked. Like they're trying to get
Yeah.
something to their kid. But it's like also if you're working like I wouldn't have stolen cash from Guitar Center. I would have stolen the gear.
All right, I'd like to bring up the counter argument to the stealing from corporations thing.
like devil's advocate.
Well, yeah. So I would like to see what your opinion is.
I like devil's
there's
eggs.
people that argue that it's not okay to steal from corporations because then the corporation would then take it out on their lowest wage employees.
They're doing that
Either
anyways.
fire them
Yeah.
or fire them for not stopping it or lowering their wages to compensate for it, and et cetera.
They
So
already
there's
do
a
that.
discussion point.
Yeah, I agree
They
with Brett.
already
They
do
already
that.
do. They are using any excuse they can to, like you said, wage theft or just, give people the lowest amount. They're already doing that.
I don't know what you call it, but the stance that you take where like the employee is so indisposable that you can pay them minimum wage and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, if they
because
quit, it doesn't matter,
There'll just
like-
be another body. Like that
Yeah.
whole concept is so it's like the
Yeah.
worst because it's like, I mean, they're right. They don't. That's business, They
Yeah.
can't just find another body.
Yeah,
But
which is why you just gotta hope that you can like get skills or get a job or work your way up, get experience, whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
To the point where you're not just disposable, so you actually have leverage. Like
Yeah.
when I was working at my old job in some old studios, I worked my way up into running shows and stuff, and then a couple people quit, and I knew
yeah.
what I was fucking worth.
I literally did the same shit at the restaurant the other day. My boss, like, I cursed out someone because or I didn't curse them out. They were giving me a lot of shit. They were a kitchen lady. I told her not to fucking talk to me like that. And I got in a shit ton of trouble. And he was like, why shouldn't I fire you right now? And I looked at him in the eye and I was like, because you know that I'm a damn good server and I'm one of the best that you have right now. And you just lost these 3 people that have been here forever. And if you keep losing people like this, Jason, you're going to be in trouble. And you know I'm not a fucking dickhead, but you also know that when I'm put in stressful situations like
Yeah.
that, I have a temper and I will fight back. And he just kind of looked at me and he was like, Red, if it happens again, I'm going to fire you though. And I was like, well, I'm going to work on it. But also in general, I am not like, this isn't just a me problem. This is a two-way street
These
here.
people were.
And of course he tried to double down. He was like, well, I've never had a problem with her, blah, 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 blah. And then over the course of the next week, anytime I saw her giving people shit, I was like, yo, right now, stop what you're doing and go tell Jason that because he thinks that I'm a dumbass and I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then like literally a week later, I talked to him and I was like, so like, have you seen what I'm talking about? And he's like, what do you mean? And I was like, because like, I don't know, like
Yeah.
now you know it's not me,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sorry,
yeah.
some small tangent, but restaurant industry can be
No,
stressful.
yeah. We're
Oh,
some-
that's
some
another.
hot
It's not really a
takes.
hot take, but if you cannot afford 20%, I don't give a fuck what the service was like. If you go out to eat and sit down at a table and are there for any amount of time, 20% is the minimum. You should never go less than that if they did a bad job. You should start at 20% and do more if they did a good job. Bare
No,
minimum.
I've had servers that were so disrespectful to me.
Well, okay.
I purposely left like a 3%. I think you were one
Wait.
time. Me, you, and someone else went to the
Well,
cotton patch.
but there's
near
a
us.
difference between like straight disrespect and just bad service. If they're being mean to you, fuck them. I'm not gonna give you money.
Yeah, do you remember? I don't know if you were there. There was some lady that was like straight up like giving us like I've never been disrespected much as like a
What?
like I think Matthew like fucking was taking like an extra 2-3 seconds to order like he sometimes do, and
He
she
always
was
does
like.
that.
Like
Where?
sighing. Cotton Patch.
Are you serious?
We were like outside, like at the like patio, and then she was like bitching that
When
we
did
like.
you ever eat at Cotton Patch? Was this before you
I think
worked
it was
there?
before we worked there. Yeah.
Huh.
And I mean, just sighing loudly the whole time she was bitching that we like sat outside. Like, okay, maybe that's warranted, but why in the fuck would you ever like
Okay.
go to the person and be
Well,
like, why did y'all sit out here?
I don't think I've ever had a server just be straight up like rude to me
I know
like that.
we were just dumbfounded. I was literally like.
Huh.
So I don't think that was one of the few times, but I know that is a hot take. I've seen people like waiters getting eaten alive on
Yeah, on
online
Reddit, yeah.
and shit like that. When people like bitch about people not tipping, and then they just get eaten alive. And like working as a server, I now know like I make sure to tip really, like it's not hard. Like unless you're going like
Well,
you know what I
because
mean.
also
Like
the difference between let's say 15% and 20% in general is less than $5, 100, like
Yeah.
like for the
Yeah.
most part.
Yeah.
And so like it's like really not that much money to just make it,
20% minimum, yeah, which is what I always try to do. But like I can understand. Like I don't know, I could like devil's advocate, right? Like I could understand, like say it is like more of a, a not fortunate family, right? And they're, see, Red's trying to give me secondhand. I know that doesn't
to
exist.
distract you.
Well, it works.
I mean, I get it. I get it. If you're like, because
Yeah,
I
that's
had that a
fortunate
lot on
people.
Father's Day, and I was not like getting tipped properly, to be honest with you. And it's like I get it, but also at the same time, I'm like, well, this is a shit day for me. You know, like it's like one thing you have to kind of like accept. You can't just like be so angry at it. You know, working in that industry, you have to realize it's not going to happen all the time.
Yeah.
But in general, it is a frustration. I'm like, dude, like you guys, like I don't know. You can't afford it. You can't afford it. Go do something cheaper, you know? Like
Yeah.
there's other ways to make it a special moment without ruining my night, you know, at the expense of your special
Yeah,
moment.
and I
if
guess,
you want to have a
like-
nice Father's Day, go buy a steak at Walmart and grill it, you know? Like I
Yeah.
don't know, there's
Yeah. I mean, like, so I understand your frustration as being a server, but I think more of that frustration belongs to your employer. And I
Yes,
get that we're so
yes,
ingrained
yes,
in
and
tipping
no,
culture
like-
in America.
Yeah.
But we shouldn't have to. A lot of other countries, that is not a fucking thing. People just pay their goddamn employees.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have to be every single day of your fucking life stressing out
Yeah.
about this guy didn't tip me, this guy did tip me, riding the highs and lows.
you're not
right?
wrong. I mean, if Chewy's were to just pay their execs more,
You know,
we're just gonna have to blurt that out.
you said it a million times.
Oh. Oops. If they were
Just the place he works.
anyway, fucking but you know, I had another one. I had another bug.
Okay, so this is I've gotten rid of a lot of my hot takes, but this was the hottest take I still believe
I'm
this
ready
in the
for some
back of my
sauce.
head, but I have, because of like the industry, I've like learned to do the wrong opinion, but I for the longest time always would fight and get in fistfights with people that GIF is pronounced GIF. Because the fucking creator himself, right, said it was pronounced GIF. So I just, all high school, middle school,
That was-
it's pronounced GIF. But then I like got into the industry, right? This is kind of like my field. I started working with other editors. Nobody pronounced it GIF. So I just had to learn to pronounce it GIF.
I literally didn't have when that became an argument, I had no stance, but purely on the fact that you wanted to call it GIF, I was like, GIF, fuck you. And I've always called it that since. But I am
What does GIF
strangely
stand for?
Graphical something yeah, but you could say
Graphic interface, and then was it capture?
that. No, graphic, I don't know. The first thing's like graphic though.
So the word is graphic, right? So would you assume that the acronym would also match the same
Yeah, but
saying?
that isn't, I don't have
So-
the exact scenario, but when I used to argue that, there's like a million other things I could list to you right now, if I looked it up, of words that don't follow that rule that you're trying to get GIF to follow.
this is
I don't have any right now, right? I mean, like, oh fuck, now I have to like look up why it's pronounced GIF, because I remember getting in people's arguing or whatever.
Just in its graphics interchange format.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So I don't know. I can't find any of the exact ones besides like the fact that the guy pronounces it himself. I like how one of the top websites is from a website called Everyday Jewish Living. I guess they just I mean that's fair. The arguments are for everybody. But I don't know. Yeah. I still think it should be pronounced GIF because I feel like the creator
fuck you.
should have a say.
Fuck you.
And
Art doesn't exclusively belong to the artist in a conceptual sense once it's put out there. Like music, once a musician releases a song that they've been working on, that song is now open to interpretation by the masses, and the whole meaning of that concept changes. So that's an interesting take that I have. That I see yes and no on, but I essentially think that once you put art out there, it's fair game in a sense of taking and building and I don't know, smashing it up, because that's all that art is, is an interpretation of your own whatever onto whatever canvas or media, So I think that
So I
in
have an
general, Go ahead.
interesting question to add on to this. Should the person who create a word have full access on how it is pronounced? Because
No.
most words throughout history, if you look at I think it's etymology, they change over time.
Yeah,
Right? And then their
yeah.
meanings and their pronunciations
Yeah.
and their spellings
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
all change over time.
I think that's
no,
just
and I
how
get,
language
and that's
works.
why I accept saying GIF, right? Because I understand language.
I don't
is,
like how you're just like, well, I accept it.
I
Like,
mean, yeah, I still think it's wrong, but I understand that language is like it's not a static thing. It's an ever-changing, ever-evolving thing, and people right now have decided overall that it's pronounced GIF, and I mean, they can be wrong, right? But I got to fit in, right? So
you just gotta
I'm gonna start
It's
pronouncing
not-
it thon instead of they, because that was the original pronunciation.
It was
Or is that
thon.
the original word.
Old English. Thon.
Thon.
yeah,
Like Theo
we need
Von
we need to
Don.
get really good at just speaking Old English and just do a whole episode.
Old English is
In Old
difficult.
English.
It's like that's why reading Shakespeare was so whack. Because it's like I know the words you're using, but I don't know how.
It just changes so drastically, yeah. So I know we're probably like running a little bit low, but let me see. I think I have two more. I
I got one.
Okay.
Pop
We
music.
probably have time for one more each.
Okay.
Oh, well, I guess this is mine. Pop music, man.
Pop music.
I just like in general think it's just like it's almost disrespectful to like the true like. And this is just because I'm like I don't know, like I'm not trying to be gatekeepy with it, but like I'm always listening to like what I'm listening to like very thoroughly, and pop is just so surface level and bland that it doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, I
You
guess
can
my
say
only
the same
argument
thing
would be
about a
is
lot of different
that is
genres.
so gatekeepy. Yeah,
It is,
because
but-
that's what like old white people say about rap and hip hop.
True, and I'm not gonna lie, there are pop songs that I do like because they've broken through that surface level blandness. But like in general, I think it's more of a show versus about the music,
Or like country music.
like K-pop.
It's all just about.
Fuck K-pop.
What do you mean fuck K-pop?
Hate K-pop.
I think
man.
out of anything, that has the most likelihood chance of getting us canceled and our house burned on
Fuck
fire.
the K-pop industry.
Do you also
Not
agree with me?
necessarily
Oh.
K-pop.
Yeah, they-
K-pop is an industry like giant. It is mostly manufactured by like the corporate giants.
Yeah,
that
like
can
industry
control all the
plants
little-
and shit, right?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
like the K-pop people themselves are like fucking massively overworked. There's so many horror stories about people that are in K-pop bands and like how the industry
Yeah,
has
treated
such
them.
a tight hold on it as a concept.
Yeah,
But
obviously I'm not talking about the people themselves or the artists themselves. I'm referring to both the industry behind it and a lot of the times with the music. I just don't.
Yeah.
It doesn't jive.
Which
with me.
like I don't know, it's easy for me to like say that about like, say like certain like I'm not a big fan of like mumble rap or whatever where it's just like the most basic like beat ever. And it's just like some guy being like, I smoke Xanny and I put
know, man.
fucking black tar
Person
heroin in my
smoke
butthole
Xannies.
and I fucking like
TTG, the famous rapper over here.
So I don't know that was that. So I guess my last hot take, I think I don't know. I think homeschooling's pretty garbage.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie.
I was homeschooled for 4 months and I didn't learn shit.
Yeah.
I did actively everything I could to just sit there and look at the words.
Yeah. Like I feel like I'm sure there's some good instances of homeschooling, but I think even if you do homeschooling perfectly, you're still not giving your kid the social they're not growing their social skills,
Yeah.
right? Of just interacting with large groups of people, right? So even if you do it right, it's I think still problematic, and I think a lot of the times it's done by fucking crazy lunatics.
Absolute
Yeah,
fucking
that
mad
are either
womans.
religious fanatics or I mean,
Isn't that a
you
weird
know.
correlation? How the like between religion and homeschooling? Overwhelmingly, they're like I can't think of any homeschooler I've ever talked to that wasn't brought up religiously as well. You
Yeah.
know, it was like tied together.
Well,
and
and
I think that has to do with like sheltering them from the impurities or whatever garbage they think.
Yeah, which also conveniently shelters them from outside opinions.
Yeah.
That would make you question
Yeah.
the fucking
Home-
faith.
yeah.
Oh, maybe gay people aren't evil. Oh, maybe women should have rights.
Wait, women should have rights? What?
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 Like, yeah, so homeschooling, pretty garbage. Obviously not shitting on you if you were homeschooled.
No,
but
I'm
I think
shitting on your parents
yeah.
for homeschooling you.
Yeah,
Though.
don't
Fuck
homeschool your
them.
kids. And like as a temporary thing, right? Like if you're fucking like, like kid is getting relentlessly bullied and then like I know like systems and
yeah,
education
yeah.
systems. Well, like education systems in general, like
Are pretty garbage in the
are
US.
pretty garbage and like so
You gotta get
I
lucky.
can understand like a temporary situation, right?
Yeah.
Or like medical issues. You know, there's a lot of valid reasons, but
Which, in my parents' defense, that is like what they were trying to do. You know, I was going through a lot at the time, so they did take me out to like protect me in a sense. And at that point,
no,
I
it was a
don't.
punishment. I remember you were
But
not allowed to go to school as a punishment.
Yeah, but from their like point of view, they were trying to
Yeah, and
do
their
me
point of
good.
view is fucking
yeah, absolutely
doo-doo.
fucking flawed. Dude, do you remember that? I used to literally, they pulled me out, and like 3 days later, I hadn't shown up to school in like a fucking week. I'm still on the rosters, and I show up to our tech teachers class, and after school, and
Yeah, we would
y'all
play video
you're
games
just playing
after
video
school,
games.
yeah.
I think y'all are playing Minecraft, and she was like, "What are you doing? Like, why haven't you been here?" And I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I'm homeschooled." And she didn't believe me.
Yeah.
She did. That was so good.
I remember there was a kid. Do you remember like the real like he was like a super white skinny kid with like real dark hair.
Oh, dark hair.
And he like got like some popular kid at one point like filmed him doing the like Snoop Dogg thing, and he was like real
Yeah.
big in our school for a little.
Yeah.
His parents were so crazy that as a punishment, yeah, they would not let him go to school. Like it wasn't
Wow.
like a taking him and homeschooling. It was for a month straight. They made him stay in his room and not go to school.
That's fucked.
That is,
That reminds me of Butters from South Park.
yeah, yeah. So what do you have a final hot take, Manny?
Yeah, sure. Let's go with one last hot take.
I don't like when you said
No,
that.
no.
Just for old time's sake. I'm going to say that organized religion is not necessarily bad. And going specifically against y'all two. I have an interesting perspective on this, I think. The idea of organized religion itself isn't necessarily bad. The way that it is implemented right now is, and my opinion is that however you want to see your, like, I guess, inevitable death or, like, place in the universe or whatever, it doesn't fucking matter from any perspective. So as long as it's positively affecting your life and not negatively affecting other people's life, then it's fine. And the organized religion angle on it is that having a sort of community could just also give you a better what's the word? Quality of life.
Until you
what
then
is your thoughts?
But that organized religion is helping the hateful things like anti-LGBT.
Oh, yeah. I'm talking about
I would
current
say-
organized religion.
Overwhelmingly that the people super into the whole concept of going to church and being in a part of their organized religion, overwhelmingly those people do more bad in their thought process and what they spread than the smaller number of people that I think are going to that church or believing in that religion would do quietly, if that makes sense. You know, like they don't.
Quietly, I don't like when you say that word because it makes me think of someone having to hide their religion.
Well, it's not hiding, but you're just not
So-
showing it off. You're not.
But-
you're not. You know, like.
I get what you're saying. Like the type of person that is going to hardcore parkour, be a churchgoer in
Yeah.
organized religion, is more likely to be one of those crazy religious fanatics that are going to
Lunatics.
hate gay people, hate women, you know, things like that.
So I
understand what
think
you're
that whole
saying.
concept of community building, though, to be a part of the church in of itself is such a bad thing because you're gonna draw like it's like sucking people in to look at shit. If that makes sense.
I mean, but like I don't know. I did youth.
What
group.
about
I did too.
theoretically a community of people who have religions but not necessarily the same religion?
That's a whole different story because that community alone implies that they disagree with each other and still respect each other enough to be and around each other and want to hang out.
Yeah,
with
I don't
them.
think you would consider that organized religion.
That'd be
anymore,
like
right?
a
'Cause I feel like
Alcoholics
the term
Anonymous.
like organized religions implying like like-minded of the same religion,
yeah.
you know.
Well,
Like,
worshiping.
I can concede that, but I can also see that there could be instances where you can have a group of people that are all the same religion talking about this, and then specifically encourage also talking to people that are different religions to be able to get other people's perspectives on life. Maybe take certain things that you think, oh, maybe I like this better, or maybe I like this better.
Dude, from what I've seen though, like, because I've been through probably 5 or 6 different youth groups with probably 4 or 5 different churches. I went to a private Catholic school for a little bit. Overwhelmingly, those people that are in that area or around those people that are quote unquote encouraged to talk about their external beliefs or whatever they disbelieve in, a lot of the times it's so hard for them to actually get that because you're going to have 1 or 2 people in that group that are so gung-ho about their shit. They're going to shut that person down. I've seen it time and time again, how they like will single that person out. And even Daniel mentioned that
Yeah,
on a
on one of
previous
those
episode.
episodes, yeah.
They will single them out, make them feel bad, et cetera, which just
About
breeds,
evolution. He
Yeah,
was talking
exactly.
about,
And
yeah.
creationism. I've seen it myself. Like there were so many times in a youth group where like you'd have someone just questioning something and they'd fucking baby explain it to it. Be like, well, because, you know, they get that fake little religious fuck smile on their face and like pretend that they actually love you. But in reality, they just like, I don't know, they just hate it. That fake happy bullshit, man. Sorry.
Well,
it's like
See,
a whole.
that's why we just need to like make new religions. Y'all want to start a religion?
Yeah. What are we, religion of the plant?
It's the religion of mind your own fucking business.
I feel like that's the episode name. Religion of mind your own fucking business.
So yeah, those were our hot takes. Definitely let us know what your hot takes are, as long as they're not just literal
Slurs
the most
or
hateful fucking
shit.
shit on the planet.
Yeah, like I'm sorry, but if your hot take is that you don't like African people, you could suck a fat fucking, I don't know, thing you don't like. Like if you like sucking dick, well, don't suck that.
Suck a big fat pussy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, yeah, or like a hairy ass toe. I don't suck at some shit. I don't know. People could be into that too, but no
Suck.
slurs allowed.
No slurs
Yeah,
allowed.
Epic tie-in to a last episode.
And with that, I don't think we're gonna do a cold intro. I'll kiss y'all goodbye. Ready?